What's up beautiful people, this is Khurram from iGetsWell and hope you all are having an amazing day. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing the Sony A95K QD OLED TV and it is in the 55-inch size. I'll tell you guys this video is really long because instead of making 4 different videos for 4 different things, I just made and squeezed everything in one video. And also I have some demo in this video, so I'll put the timestamps in the description. So if you're not interested in unboxing and setting it up and all that, so you can skip through the different type of segments in the video. That's going to be in the description. I hope that deserves a like, so make sure to do that and subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for making me reach 25,000 subscribers. Really appreciate that, guys. All right, now without any delay, let's just unbox this thing. Alright guys, so by the thumbnail of the video, you guys know that I paid $3,000 plus tax for this TV, which is $1,000 more than what I paid for the Samsung S95B, which is also the QD OLED, and it has the same panel from Samsung. It was packed and shipped on the Feb 15, 2022, but we know that Sony TVs were delayed for some reason, but this was the date. So inside the box, you have these covering that actually goes and cover the legs or arms, I would say, because you still gotta prepare the stand. So this is the 2 legs which goes on the stand, and I'm gonna show you in this video how to assemble that. This time it's a new design from Sony, so we have different changes this time. It's more sleek design. It also comes with the Sony Bravia camera that goes on the TV. That's something that I'll show you guys when the TV is assembled. Also, we have some books to read, how to set up. Graphically, I really think that Sony should make a video so it's a lot easier, but in the drawings here, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. Alright, so this year we have the redesigned remote control, which is actually the smaller version of what we had last year with the Sony A90J. It still looks sleek and stylish the way it looks premium, and that's what you expect when you're paying for the Master Series. And at the back we have the voice recognition microphone. We have the 2-prong 1.8 meter, because a lot of people ask me about the cable. This is detachable and it's 1.8 meter. So if you need longer, you can buy it. And these screws to assemble the TV. So let's get into that. We have the covers that is for the cable concealment, and I'll show you guys when the TV is set up. So now it's the time to lift up the TV, and I hope everything goes well. And actually everything went well because I'm doing this voiceover later on when I did everything. So no accidents happened, and TV was really heavy, sturdy, and TV weighs about 112 pounds, and half of that weight is just for the stand, and stand looks really sturdy. And don't try to take out any weights from this stand, because there's someone who will tell you on YouTube that you can make the TV lighter, you can make the stand lighter. Don't do that. There's a science behind it, and I'll show you guys why it is made super heavy. So the stand weighs about 50 pounds. That's like half of the weight of the TV. So total weight with the stand and the TV is 112 pounds. And we have to attach these arms to the TV. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna laying down TV flat facing the screen down, and then I'm gonna assemble these arms to the stand first, which is gonna be with these 4 screws that are provided for each arm. And that's easy step, but make sure that which direction you're doing it, because one goes to the back side of the TV, one goes at the front. I'm gonna do the back side of the TV stand, so the TV is just kind of like infinity screen, only display will be visible. So you can see I'm doing it like this. It's sitting on the box TV flat. I don't want it to, because you can see from the side, you have to actually lift it up. And that screw on the TV, you don't have to tighten it or do anything. There are 2 additional screws for each arm that you have to attach to the TV. And after that, everything is just set up and it's ready. And we're gonna look at what ports are there, and the HDMI overview and what's in the back. Able to pick up this 112 pounds TV by myself, but if you're assembling a 65-inch, you really need somebody's help because it's gonna be really heavy. So this is 55-inch. Now, one thing I don't like about this TV is how it's leaning back. So you can see the wall, the line from the sensor that you can see on the wall in the back. So on the right, you see that line is really wide from the top. That's because it's leaning so much backward, and there's a reason why it is, so that it won't topple forward, and you will damage your screen. So if somebody will tell you take out the weight or make it lighter on your stand, please don't listen to all of that stuff, because you're going to be risking your $3,000 investment. So now we have the Sony Bravia cam that goes on the top of the TV on the back, and that's what you can use for the video calling, video chats, and you know that it's powered with the Android system, so you have tons of applications that can utilize this camera. Alright guys, so at the back of the TV we have the two drivers on each side, left and right, which are responsible for giving you the mid-range and the low frequencies. I wouldn't really bet on the low frequencies a lot coming out of this TV, because the still TV cannot perform those low thunderous bass kind of frequencies. So the TV uses the actuators that are built into the TV, so that's why it feels like the sound coming out of the TV. Now let's look at the side of the TV. We have the center speaker outlet where you can connect it to the receiver and use TV as a center channel. Then we have the remote infrared blaster connection. We got the video in, which is the composite connection for the video, and we have the S center speaker in, which is for the soundbar. So if you want to connect the Sony ecosystem to the TV and use it as a center channel. Then we have a USB connection, HDMI, and a mic mute on off button, which is for the wireless handling for the TV. So you say, I don't want to say that word because it will wake your Google devices, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so you will notice that on the side we have the one HDMI 2.1, which is not capable of doing the 4K 120 Hz VRR, and you have only HDMI 3 and 4 that can do 4K 120 Hz, and that's why they are labeled. Why I'm calling the HDMI 1 and 2 also the 4K HDMI 2.1, because now, as you know, the standard is retired for HDMI 2.0 and everything has become HDMI 2.1, but with the specification we have HDMI 3 and 4 that is only capable of doing the 4K 120 Hz VRR. So make sure to connect your Xbox and PlayStation there. Now you can see the connection that we made with the stand on the TV. Now we have some cable concealment stuff. So we're gonna snap those on. They're really without any screws. So you just snap them on and they're ready to go. Then this amazing thing that I like, and I really like this for the reason that sometimes you need a longer power cable, and we have it detachable. With LG TVs, we still have the attached cables, which is I hope will improve in the future, because some people want to change their cable because they need a lengthy cable. But I like the sleek finish and this design that Sony has for the back. It has the Bravia logo in that, pyramid shape, and the concealment is amazing, but there's a drawback for the slim concealment because you can't run your HDMIs through it practically. You need really slimmer HDMIs. The one I have from Zkit, thicker HDMIs, they literally don't work with this kind of the cable concealment cover. So you have to use the slim profile HDMI cables. They're available from Zkit. You can buy that. And now it's time to unwrap this beast. Alright guys, so I powered on the TV for the first time and I'm gonna be setting it up, and you can do it yourself. I really prefer to do it through my cell phone if it is a Google Android TV, because it really makes it easier to set up your TV. So you have two options: set up Google TV or set up basic TV. If you set up Google TV, that's how you should do it. You get all the applications. If you set up basic, you're not gonna get any applications. So you're gonna have only TV connections and HDMI connections, but you're not gonna have a smart TV, which I don't know why would anybody will do with that. So I have the Google Home app that I scan the barcode, and it makes it so easier because all of my accounts gonna be logged in for Netflix, for Disney Plus, and also my Wi-Fi. That's the very first thing. So right now it is connecting to my home network, and everything is gonna be so smooth because I've used the Sony A90J in the past, and with the Google Android TV, that's the good thing. It saves all your information to your network, same like how you have for the iCloud, And this was the moment, that first impression when I powered on the TV. After that, you have this animation once the TV is set up, and that Bravia animation, it's sparkling bright, and you can tell, this TV is capable of pushing that kind of brightness that you expect from the QD OLED TVs. And Samsung has been doing that, right? So now Sony has its processing. So this is the thing that I want to turn off, the power saving. You can see the difference: high, low, and then off. Off is gonna unleash this TV for its potential. So if you're in a bright room, make sure to turn it off. Even in the dark room, you want to turn it off. Then it has option for cable connectivity. You can do it yourself, so I don't want to waste your time. But you can see these devices, which are the HDMI devices. I'll show you guys that if you have a PlayStation 5, like I have on the right side. So I'm gonna just plug in the HDMI cable, and it's gonna detect it by itself because it is the Sony TV and Sony made the PlayStation. So as you can see, it's auto configured, so that makes it a lot easier. But still, there's a caveat, and it's one thing that I don't like. So I'm going to talk about that in the end of the video when I'm going through the PlayStation 5 interface. So since now PlayStation is connected because it's part of the setup, I'm selecting how my TV is positioned. So it's front position style because the whole screen is in the front. Don't just go by how the stand is in the back. If the stand is in the back, that is actually the back position, front position style, sorry. If the stand is in the front, that is back position. So it's kind of a little confusing. It was a little tricky, but yeah, it goes by screen, how the screen is positioned, not the stand is positioned. And then it will ask you to do the acoustic auto calibration, which is for the audio. And I really want to do it because room acoustics are different for everybody. So when you start doing this, the microphone will measure the frequencies bouncing around the room and will treat the ones which are causing the problem. So it takes only a couple of seconds, and that calibration is going to help you for the audio side. And I'm going to talk about one thing for the audio, and that's in the end of the video with the soundbar setup. So make sure to watch it till the end if you are interested in how the sound is and what are the options out there for you. And one really important thing about the Sony TV, specifically when you're getting the Sony Bravia, the master lineup, or any lineup that is a premium lineup, you actually get the 10 credits with the TV. So you can see that the registration is complete registration for Bravia Core, and you can use your Google account or you can set up with another email address. You're getting the 10 IMAX enhanced movies for free. So make sure to utilize this because it is unmatched. It is actually Blu-ray kind of quality on the streaming. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up and show you guys what movie I'm gonna redeem first. So guess which one is it, and let me know in the comment section which one you will redeem first, because there's some movies which are just Sony exclusive and you're not gonna find that on the Disney Plus or anywhere else. So now the setup is complete. Now let's get into the Sony Bravia app after this. First, we're gonna look at how the interface is, and if you guys are aware of the Google interface, so that's how it looks, which is kind of similar to how you have it on the Nvidia TV, Google with your user ID, and make sure to enable the pure stream. And this is something that gives you the 80 megabits per second speed for the Ultra HD quality picture, which is the IMAX enhanced and with the DTS audio track. So now let me show you on the left side at the bottom, you see the 10 star, which is the 10 credits I have for the movies. So the very first one that I want to redeem is the No Way Home, the Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm going to redeem that because that is the movie not available on the Disney Plus, and also on the Blu-ray it is not the full screen, which is the IMAX formatting. So I'm going to show you guys what collection out there, so you can see there's so much that you can stream for free and there's some that you have to redeem for credit. So I'm going to use my 1 credit and redeem this movie, which is in the IMAX. You can see IMAX DTS at the top, and it is done. So now I'm going to play it, give you guys a little demo because maybe it will be copyright strike. I don't think so. They're gonna do it for a couple of seconds, but let's just show you guys what it is. And one thing that I've noticed when the Columbia Picture lady that shows up on the screen with the torch in her hand, that thing is literally blinding. So I was not in crazy awe because I already have seen it on the S95B, but people will talk about color accuracy and so much stuff, but I'm just talking about specifically just the brightness. So it was literally really bright. And one thing I did here is I paused this scene right here because it's super bright, just to see if TV will kick in the ABL and try to, dim my screen. But as you can see that my screen stayed on for at least 30 seconds I tried, and it not dim my picture. So I still had that on pause and still it was bright enough. Usually if I'm on my LG TV with the WRGB panels, they actually dim the screen because you have been on the screen for 30 seconds. So maybe that's something that you can control in the anti-burn-in features, or you know, some sensitivity that you can do low high, so you can play with that logo static images. But here I'm in the IMAX enhanced picture mode. That's what you want to be in when you're watching the IMAX enhanced content, and you will notice the black bars are really thin at the top and at the bottom, and that's what you get with the IMAX enhanced. And also the quality for the audio and for the video is really not as compressed as you get it on the streaming when you're doing it on Netflix. Remote control, and as soon as you turn off the lights, you have the illuminated buttons on the remote control, which is really helpful. And if the remote control goes dark like this, you can just shake it because it has that proximity sensitivity to it too, so you can just shake it and you have that back again. And also you can use the same remote control with the PlayStation 5, and you can control it for media controls if you want to launch YouTube or other applications. Now let's talk about what I don't like about the TV, and I already discussed when I showed you guys assemble the TV that how it is tilting back, and it's kind of literally weird. And second thing is about the soundbar. You cannot place any soundbar in front of the TV on the top, especially when you have the Dolby Atmos enabled soundbars, which actually have the speakers, the up-firing speakers, because you don't want to slide. Now people will say you can slide it in a shelf, but the thing is there are speakers on top which will bounce the sound off the shelf. So you have to be careful. If you really want a soundbar, then you'll have to do maybe like TV mounting, and below that you can have the soundbar. Now, one thing that is annoying is about the screen and video, and it is not something that I'm saying there are issues, permanent issues, they can be fixed. So you go to the PlayStation 5 settings when it's auto configured, and you go to the the video output screen, you will see that the VRR is actually not supported. And for that thing is you have to go to the settings, because there are a couple of things that you have to do before you get the VRR on. So if you do the automatic, it's not gonna kick in, even though it is the PS5 official TV, because it's PS5 from Sony and the TV is from Sony. But what you're gonna do is go to the settings, and you wanna go to the channels and input settings, and you're gonna go down to the external inputs, and that's where you have to change the HDMI signal format. So this is something that works perfectly fine when you're using the PlayStation 5, because it doesn't do the Dolby Vision. So you can go and enable the enhanced format VRR, but when you do that for Xbox Series X, you can't actually have the Dolby Vision. So it's just one thing, take or leave, So you'll have the VRR for Xbox, the same setting, and also for the PlayStation 5. But since PlayStation 5 doesn't do the VRR and the Dolby Vision simultaneously, so you're gonna have only one choice. And it does the auto settings for the calibration that I doubt, because the Winston Teo video out there, so you can follow that for instruction, do it manually. But now you can see the VRR you can enable, because you went to the setting and you enabled it, but now you don't have Dolby Vision, but Sony won't care about it because the PlayStation 5 doesn't have the Dolby Vision. So ALLM mode will always kick in the game mode for you guys. So if the ALLM is enabled, you're gonna be in the game mode. So if you want any other mode, you'll have to disable the ALLM. So that's all I have from this video. We have a couple of demos for you guys to see, which I shot from my HDR camera. I hope it's gonna justify, but it's not gonna show you what I'm seeing from the screen, because the thing is, I'm recording it from the TV screen, and then you're watching it on your screen, which would be not the QD OLED. So not all the variables are same, so don't judge the TV on the basis of what you see on the screen. Sometimes the WRGB color balance would be different when you're shooting from the camera. So if you're comparing the two TVs side by side, you're not actually seeing what that person or what I am seeing in person. So it's kind of hard to tell. So please rely on our commentary when we are saying this TV has amazing colors, and the brightness is just shockingly bright. So you can't see that on your display, but that's what we are trying to tell you and convey my message to you guys in this video, that this TV is just amazing. But I'm gonna have to see that $3,000, is it a fair price for a 55-inch TV? If you're in a bright room, then you need a brighter TV. If you're in a dark room, you really don't need a brighter TV. So see your variables and see how it's gonna fit your needs. Don't just go and buy a brightest TV if you're gonna be in a pitch dark media room. And I will be honest, the 65-inch is not gonna cut for anybody's dedicated media room, so it probably is going to be in somebody's living room, especially with all the bells and whistles and the design that it has. It is meant to be in the living room kind of TV. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about it. How did you like this video? And any